Hello, this is Chris Minnick with Webucator. In this video, I'm going to show you how CSS Flexbox is entirely logical, almost. This video was inspired by a blog post by Paul Lloyd, which is available at the URL shown here. Browser support for CSS Flexible Box Layout, also known as Flexbox, currently hovers around 96%, so there's little excuse for developers not to start using it. Like getting to grips with any new tool, you can only really understand it by using it. While Flexbox may not be suitable for every situation, it solves a great number of problems. Flexbox introduces a number of new concepts. Here, we'll draw your attention to two particular values used by Flexbox, FlexStart and FlexEnd. These terms appear fairly abstract until you need to create a layout that will support both left-to-right and right-to-left languages. With the dir attribute, or the BDI and BDO elements, if you add a text-align left to a passage of text, it will appear left-aligned, no matter what the document's text direction has been set to. Physical positioning keywords like left and right make assumptions, while Flexbox uses the logical values FlexStart and FlexEnd in order to automatically align layouts according to the document's text direction. Almost. Flexbox is most effective when creating micro layouts within parts of pages and position items in one direction, like the following page header. We can mark up this header using the following HTML, and with these CSS rules. By giving the containing header element the rule displayFlex, its children will appear alongside each other in the same row. To move the navigation to the right, we can use Flexbox best kept secret by applying margin left auto to the nav element. Its left-hand margin will take up the remaining space, thus pushing it all the way to the right. But this makes the assumption that the navigation will always appear on the right, but that's not true if we need to support right-to-left text. Switching the document's text direction will produce the following result. Because the left margin value hasn't changed, the navigation will still be pushed as far to the right as it can go. What we actually want, however, is for it to be pushed as far to the left, so that the header's layout is now flipped. On the cross-axis, we can align individual items in a different direction to that of its siblings. So, if a container has align items FlexStart, we can add the rule align self FlexEnd to a child item. With a corresponding property on the main axis, perhaps justify self, we could do the same, thus avoiding any physical value declarations. Unfortunately, such a rule doesn't exist, so we need to write the following instead. At first, this seems like an oversight. To align items along the cross-axis, there are three properties: align content, align items, and align self. Yet to justify items along the main axis, there is only one: justify content. Why can't we just use a justify self rule to align a child item along the main axis? Tab Atkins responded to this question on the www.style mailing list as follows. Because there can be multiple children on that axis, the self properties only work if the child is all alone in that axis. When there are multiple boxes to be aligned, they can only be aligned en masse, with the content properties. Thinking both axes were equal is the wrong understanding of how Flexbox works. This difference can become clearer once you consider that items along the main axis can also wrap. Returning to our header example, you'll notice another property containing a physical value, border left. Again, to make this work in both text directions, we would need to write the following. With these adjustments, we get the desired result. But including a dir selector in every rule featuring physical values soon makes our CSS overly verbose. This is where the CSS Logical Properties module comes in. Rather than using physical left or right values, this module allows us to use values similar to those we've been using in Flexbox. Going back to the earlier example, instead of writing text-align left, we can write text-align start. This value already has good support across most browsers. By using logical properties, we can write the following rules to achieve the same result. caniuse.com shows that all browsers, with the exception of Internet Explorer, currently support logical properties. Until all browsers support logical properties, physical positioning is another thing to add to your list of things you can't take for granted when building websites. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks again to Paul for the inspiration. Check out his blog at the URL shown here for other articles related to web design and development.